Hi, everyone.
Hi, Lori.
Thank you. I love hearing that. I'm not, that's not happening. But anyway, I'm really glad to be here today, and I'm really glad that Renee is coming to talk with us because she's a very, very special lady. And if you don't know her, you're really missing out. She was she is a past district governor. She was one of our best district governors and had this absolutely wonderful way about her to just bring you all in and make you feel like you're so happy to be a part of this organization. She's brilliant. She's smart. She's funny. I didn't write all that. No, I didn't. I'm not reading any part of this. This is because I know this lady, and she's been around a while now. And she was in let's see, what year were you district governor? 2017, 18? Mm-hmm. Wow. Seems like just yesterday.
17, 18?
Yeah, 2017, 2018.
Oh.
Yeah, 17, 18, right. Anyway, I've been to many functions with her, and we still are in the advisory board for district governors that we meet once or twice a year. And she has so much knowledge about Rotary, and she's such a giver. I think you'll really enjoy her presentation today. And I want to introduce past district governor Renee Campbell. I'm going to pass these to you.
Thank you so much, Lori. I hope you know what an inspiration you have been to when we're talking about women's rights to vote and women being coming into Rotary. And our first district governor, Lori Carlson, is a tough act to follow. You could go ahead and start that slide if you like. I'm currently serving as the District 5100 District International Service Chair. So my club has a tradition of presenting what we call a Gold Star report every year at our annual meeting. We all have things that we like to do in our clubs, but we don't always know what everyone else is doing. And it can be pretty eye-opening and pretty impressive when you see what the combined efforts of a single club can do. I thought the same must be true for international service, and it is super impressive to see the combined impact that all of our clubs have throughout the world. So I attempted, and I did this first last year, and I've tried to update it for this year, to gather all of the aspects of international service that we do in our district. But I know that it will never be complete because there are clubs that do club to club service and club to organization service that never comes through the district committee. Advance, please. You said
it's slow.
Oh, it did.
Yeah.
It did. He thought maybe the first one wouldn't go. International service is an overarching priority for our organization, and it is one of our avenues of service. Clubs and districts can do small or large scale international projects, either using funds from your own club fundraising or your club foundations, collaborating with other clubs, whether locally or internationally, or through the International Rotary Foundation if it meets eligibility for district or global grants. But my purpose here today is not to give any training on TRF, the Rotary Foundation, but it plays a huge role in our efforts. So a brief review will be beneficial. As you may know, but there are some newer members in the room, every member is asked to contribute at least $100 every year to the Rotary Foundation. And those dollars are held for 3 years, and the interest from those funds almost all of the administrative costs of the foundation. After 3 years, the district gets back almost half of everything that we have contributed, and we call that district designated funds, or DDF. We divide our half again, and half of it goes to district grants, and these are our smaller grants up to $2,500 that match for either international or local projects. And the other half is reserved for global grants, matching funds. These are international projects, minimum value of $30,000. They must be in one of our 7 areas of focus, and they have other stewardship and sustainability requirements. And then those projects are also eligible for another match from the World Fund. Okay, good enough for Rotary Foundation? My purpose, I'm sorry. Yeah, I caught it from Lori. My purpose today is to share the highlights of our district's collaborative and collective accomplishments. Our district is a leader in international service in the way that we build relationships over time, in the way that we listen to those communities that we serve, and how we build collaboration among clubs as we bring about positive, lasting change. We'll also take a brief look at our district goals, our opportunities, and some of the challenges we face going forward. So we are going to take a really quick tour around the world. This is going to be at the 50,000-foot level. If there's any of these projects that you're interested in, let me know and I can connect you with the leader of those projects. We had a number of previously approved global grants that were still in process and were completed in 21-22. This project was the rehabilitation of a maternity hospital, part of a hospital complex in Brikama, the Gambia. It involved replacement of the roof, all the doors and windows, new septic system, construction of new toilet blocks, rebuilding of the delivery and recovery rooms, new floor coverings, and repainting of the exterior and the interior. We just found out yesterday the Clackamas Club also contributed $6,000 just club to club for solar power for this hospital. More women are coming to this hospital now to have their babies now that it has been renovated. Since 2010, the Salem Club has completed 3 global grants for a total of 17 wells, 4 community latrines, investing over $250,000 in Haiti's health infrastructure. And this commitment began when a brand new member, Cynthia Witham, wanted to do something for the country that had just given her a beautiful new adopted granddaughter. This project was done in partnership with Clean Water for Haiti. Many projects are done in cooperation with NGOs. But even with political unrest and COVID-19, this project was completed on time and delivered more filters than promised through the implementation of an incentive program for the 20 local workers. This project provided education for learning challenged students, but it was stalled through the pandemic. But Alan Bazaz tells us they were able to pick it up and complete it this year. Attendance at the school has increased dramatically. This project provided a latrine and hand washing station for every household in this village for a total impact to 675 people. The families receive training and maintenance for their household latrines, and they will be responsible for the long-term upkeep. Construction materials were all sourced locally, and there were 2 NGOs that matched our funds, doubling the project. The Joint International Service Committee of the Rotary Club of Sherwood and the Newburgh Early Birds is a great example of 2 clubs working together, being able to accomplish much more than either one of them would be able to do alone. And this global grant marked 10 years of partnership with this village in Colombia, providing wastewater systems in 3 communities, ultrasound equipment, 3 parks, and other community improvement projects. And I was honored to be able to attend their anniversary celebration last fall with the La Plata Club, participating by Zoom. This peace project in Nepal provides a 5-day intensive training program for 25 Nepali leaders working to end violence against women. 12 months building strong in-country networks, support systems, and collaboration. Personalized coaching, training, skill building, and resource materials, culminating in 60 violence prevention education sessions delivered by these trained leaders. This global grant supports the establishment of a solar-powered borehole well and sanitation education for residents in a rural village in Western Cambodia. I forgot to mention, watch for your club's participation in these. Oh, Lori saw that. Am I done? Okay. Susan Cooksey says that all of their water in the village had tested positive for E. coli that is found in animal and human excrement before this project. So this project supports the training of a safe water committee of community members to set up the business of clean water distribution to the school and community members. And the fees collected will support the cost of operating the water system, distribution, and future parts and repairs, part of that sustainability requirement of global grants. This project was designed to help 30 families cultivate at least 30 varieties of organic products for personal consumption and sale of the excess to increase their income. Adam Steckel says that these photos show the expansion of the existing aqueduct system that supports the gardens. This is now complete, and I am eagerly awaiting photos of the finished project. This project catches the rainwater from the roof of a new girls' school. This was Portland Metro Rotary's first global grant, and it inspired another girls' education project in Kenya, led by the White Salmon Binjan Club. That club cut their international teeth helping with this project, and it demonstrates how participating with another club that can help a club gain confidence, experience, and inspiration to be able to lead their own project in the future. This is what we call a program of scale. Notice the price tag, the project value on that one. It is a multi-district project, and we are not the lead district, although we are participating. Over 80 institutions will have water systems, rainwater harvesting, toilets, either rehabilitated or new, hand wash stations, and sanitation training. Monitoring and evaluation will continue after the project is completed, as is required by a global grant. There was also a substantial amount of money provided by that partner, Aqua Clara Kenya, demonstrating another partnership. Late last spring, Stuart Martin went to this place in East Africa where he was working on the details of this project. This project will help these women subsistence farmers preserve their crops against mold, insects, and other pests. Sometimes by the time the next harvest is ready, there is no food left because it has been eaten by the insects. So Joyce Lockhart said that while they were awaiting the selection of the contractor, a generous private donor dug a well and built a security wall around the land for the grain storehouse, extending the value of this project. We had 4 new global grants approved last year. This global grant is for the purpose of training and providing tools to Indigenous midwives for modern practices to reduce pregnancy and delivery deaths. This is a trailblazing project, creating the first ever emergency medical services solution for Nepal, where nearly 80% of the population live in rural or remote areas without access to medical service. Paula Radich said typically patients are carried to a local healer, or they're loaded on a passing truck. The majority of ambulances in the country are Jeep taxis without equipment or basic operator training. The grant establishes an emergency medical system dispatch center at the Dading Region Hospital in Nepal and includes training and equipping additional rural first responders. Some say girls are the problem in Guatemala, but in fact, girls are the solution. Educating girls raises all indicators of community success and is a continuing RI presidential initiative. The statistics show that they could improve the GDP by 50% by educating only 10% of the girls at the secondary level. Educating girls is more productive than educating boys, since they will also be the future mothers and will pass that success on to their children. And as they become successful and independent, they model for others in their communities, other girls and other families. So this project provides a college prep, internship, and job placement program for these girl pioneers, they call them. This peace project is to help improve the capacity of 10 socially and environmentally conscious enterprises that are working to create opportunities to aid in the reconciliation process in territories most affected by armed conflict. We had just one project trying to complete their application by the end of the year. We found out yesterday at our International Service Committee meeting that this application has been completed and just approved, and it is one that your club is participating in. Teen pregnancy in this area of Kenya reached an all-time high during the pandemic. It's called Najajali, and it will help these teen mothers gain skills to support their children, as well as learn basic life skills. Very popular project. And you'll see again that White Salmon Bingen Club. This is the first project that they are leading, and it is fabulous. We had 2 grants in the beginning stages of community assessment and drafting their proposals. We had a district grant that you'll hear about in a moment, but following that up, following up those immediate needs for Ukrainian refugees, this project is being designed to help those people get a foothold in their new life, in their new country. You may know ZB Chabersky from the Portland Metro Rotary Club. He traveled to their sister club in Poland to gather information for this community assessment. And once they have that information and have that project drafted up, they will be looking for partners. It's summer, in between vacations and weddings and summer. I don't know too much about this one yet, but we'll figure it out. There were not as many district grants for international service last year, with more projects going to COVID-19, wildfire, and hunger relief closer to home. You'll recall that these are the smaller grants, but they can be pooled with multiple clubs participating. So there are 17 peace poles either installed or ready for installation in Armenia and Georgia. The Salem Creekside, East Salem, and Kaiser clubs gathered used turnout gear, fire turnout gear, and equipment, filled a truck, and sent them to Mexico. Nancy Dosical says regarding their wheelchair project in Guatemala, "This is why we contribute to TRF. Our gifts are matched to help local and global projects." And the Salem Club bought equipment and ingredients for the manufacture of a highly nutritious soft paste called Plumpy Nut, used in the treatment of malnutrition. Stuart Martin led this group, and he was amazed to see participation from 16 clubs and some families in this scholarship project. Note the participation, I don't think I've got a pointer on this, the Newburgh Interact Club in the 3rd line. Interact, those are our high school Rotarians, in case you don't know. Interact and Rotaract clubs are eligible for district grants through their sponsoring clubs. And now that Interact Club is heading up this project, this follow-up project, and plan to follow this cohort of 52 students all the way through to graduation. You saw the global grant being planned for Ukraine, and it's a follow-up to this district grant that was for immediate assistance. It was led by the Portland Metro Club. We raised $143,000 $1,000 in less than a week. Through club contributions and through district grant match for those clubs that still had money remaining. Portland Metro Rotary started a club in Poland 17 years ago. And there are brothers, one in that club and one in the Poland club. We've already sent $100,000 over with ZB, and the rest of it will be going soon. Forest Groves Project is helping to develop sustainable family and community gardens to improve the health and economic opportunities of a rural population in Mexico. And I know that there are more of these club to club and club to organization projects that never come through the district committee. But these are the ones that were shared with me when I called for information. I just heard of a few more yesterday. And so this program is very dynamic. And I also took 2 slides out because he said, hey, that program's done. So let's move on to the new ones. So through her connection with the Kathmandu Club on 2 global grants, late last spring in 2021, Laura Tilrico became aware of the great need for oxygen in the hospitals. And through the DISC, District International Service Committee, the call for help went out to the clubs. And this project shows even how individual Rotarians step up in a big way to quickly help others. We raised these funds, this $12,000 in less than 3 weeks. And with the help of clubs in Australia and Denmark, the Kathmandu Club was able to buy 54 concentrators, and they put the Rotary logo on every one. I'm sure that there are other clubs that participate in microfinance projects, but this is the one that was shared with me. And I think it's interesting to note that over 5 years, $12,500 in donations has funded 123 loans of a value of $27,600 because the money is loaned, it is repaid, and it is loaned again. It's also worth noting that our district supports the Peace Builder Initiative, which we supported last year. We also had a Rotary Global Grant Scholar, a lovely young man from Silverton who is studying things way over my head at the University of Edinburgh. The disaster relief grant does not come out of our DDF. It comes out of Rotary International's Disaster Relief Fund. But we applied for $25,000 to help buy a semi-truck. We partnered with the club in Odessa, and they are, that $25,000 isn't going to buy the whole thing, but to buy a semi-truck that can take supplies through to Ukraine. So this has been my best effort to collect the stories of our district's work, but I'm sure that it will never be complete. As I said, it changes. But Jeff even just let me know that your club provides scholarships for kids in Central America and Africa, fund clean water projects in Central America and Africa, and also provide funds to areas that are affected by natural disasters. I'd love to have more information about those projects so that I can include them also in this report. So when our secretary, Holly, presents our Gold Star report, after looking at all that, all of those numbers, she looks at us and she says, so what? So what? So as you look at the next slide, don't think of it as a financial report. That's not what it's about. It's about all of the projects that we do that make a difference in someone's life. It shows a combination of our club's contributions together with clubs from other districts, district grant match, and global grant match. These are projects that make a difference. They change lives. They even save lives. And they can change the trajectory of a community. So I'm going to show it to you and let you just look at it for a minute. Five years ago, the district TRF and international service committees set a goal to use all of our DDF because we weren't, and to increase the number of clubs involved in international service. The Global Grants Committee identified members experienced in global grants and invited them to help coach clubs that wanted to do projects. The International Service Committee focused on increased communication, opportunities to collaborate among clubs, sharing success stories, and providing education in writing, implementing, and evaluating projects. We have increased the number of clubs involved from 30% to 73%. And we've included this year 8 new clubs that either haven't done a project for a very long time or maybe never. So we feel like we're working toward those goals and we're getting there. And this report shows all of the wonderful things that our district does. In 2020, 2021, the World Fund ran out of matching money. That's never happened before. So to try to stretch the funds, the first thing they eliminated was the 50% match to the club contributions. Then the trustees approved $7 million in reserves to be put into the pool for grants. And then the RI board identified another $7 million because we weren't traveling and we weren't having in-person events. Still, the demand was so great that by May 2021, we had spent all of that money doing good in the world. To further help spread that money over more projects, the World Fund matches our DDF now at 80% on our projects instead of 100%. We expected that we would run out of money again this year, but new grant applications were down about 30%. And we think that's somewhat due to the difficulty of completing some of the projects that we already had in process. So we did not run out of money. But clubs do need to raise more money at the front end now for our projects. We need to collaborate more, and we need to find additional sponsors to bring into our projects. And to encourage this at the district level, all global grant projects must now have multiple clubs participating at $1,000 each, with the number of clubs increasing as the project value increases. Besides the advantage of pooling resources, this also creates opportunity for smaller clubs with limited budgets to participate in an international project, and it gives us incentive when we are a larger club to invite those clubs to participate with us. The monthly International Service Committee meeting includes training, success stories, current information, lessons learned, opportunities to collaborate, sharing of roadblocks and how to get around them. And coaches are available for every global grant project to help avoid pitfalls and to shine a light on the path to better projects and more successful applications. I want to thank you so much for inviting me to come and share this with you. I don't know if you do remember, when I was district governor, my whole message was, you have no idea how powerful you are. And I hope that this gives you a little better grasp of that. And that's international service. Now, we're not talking community service. The District 51 Rotarians are wonderful and powerful, and I would be happy to answer any of your questions. Thank you.
Any questions for Renee? Mr. Ennis?
Thank you for the mystery. I noticed all the clubs participating in a lot of the events. How was that organized? And some kind of request sent out to clubs that gets to their foundation or their president?
Mhm. It happens in a lot of different ways. Again, at those district international service committee meetings, and not everybody attends those, they are by Zoom. So whether you're in Long Beach or you're in Wallowa County, you can come to those meetings. I send out very detailed notes. I have a contact in every club. So if there are projects that are looking for partners, you will find that in those notes. So whoever that is in your club, I have to look that up, but that's you. Okay, I thought I recognized your face. That's one way. Of course, there's a lot of collaboration that happens around the table at those meetings. But then also anybody that's got a project that is looking for money will either send letters out themselves to the contacts that they know, or they might even offer to come and speak to your club. Like this Nadja Jolly project, I'll bet that they spoke to 12 clubs. And they were able to get that collaboration and people to jump up and say, yes, I want to help. And then, and this just happened yesterday too. One club called me before the meeting, but then District Governor Steve said that he had heard in his travels to the clubs, hey, we have money. Who needs it? Maybe they're not running a project of their own, but they want to help. And so that's how that happens.
I bought a ducky.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
So you're helping the Camas wash.
I don't think I won.
Did you wash your hands after that?
Okay,
Okay.
thank you very much.